So next one, we have team. So what is a team? A team answers the question of what is the story all about and reveals the main point of a literature piece. It is the central idea of a story, essay, or narrative. And for you to note, there can be more than one theme in a story. So here means theme is the main idea of a story. It is not like synopsis or plot. It does not go very detailed. You do not include the character or place, but it just gives you the main idea, the general idea of what the story is all about. And theme also allows the readers to recognize the genre of the story. So a story could be horror, a story could be a thriller or romantic, and theme gives you that idea. So this is how a theme is written. It is taken from the short story Cheat. The theme is written as keeping faith with friends. So a theme is written in a sentence, usually in just one sentence. Another example is from Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. This is a very famous literature piece all around the world. And we know that the theme of the story, the very main theme of the story is the power of true love between Romeo and Juliet. So from the theme that Romeo and Juliet is a romantic story and Cheat is a story about friendship. So that's how theme gives you an idea of what the story is about. And for you to note also, a theme is written in a sentence and not just one word. Okay, so remember that you have to write your theme for every story, for every literature piece in a sentence and not just one word. Next one, we have moral values. And as the name goes by, moral values in literary works usually reflect the true values according to the author's view, and that is what delivered to the reader. It is a lesson learned by reading a piece of literature, and it is not necessary the author has clearly stated it. And moral values can also be in the form of a proverb. So moral values is the intended meaning, the intended lessons that the author provides for the readers. And these moral values are not usually clearly stated. And sometimes as a reader, as you pick up the book, as you go throughout the book, you would know what lessons can you take from the book. And sometimes moral values can be in the form of a proverb. So example of how a moral value is written, we can write it as bravery, or the synonym of the bravery, courage. And we need to be brave and courageous in facing the challenges in life. This is from the poem What is Red? Okay, so you write a moral value as a one word, and then you give an evidence of how bravery, the moral value, you get the moral value bravery. Okay? Next, we will move on to point of view. So what exactly is point of view? Point of view, or commonly known as POV, is what the character or narrator telling the story can see from his or her perspective. And the author chooses who is to tell the story by determining the point of view. Many stories have the protagonist telling the story, while in others, the narrator may be another character or an outside viewer or not in the story at all. And please do not be confused between the protagonist and the narrator, because sometimes in some books, these two can be different person. So let's take a look at the categories of point of view. The first one, we have the first person point of view. The first person point of view is where the readers see events through the eyes of the character telling the story. Usually, in first person point of view, I and we are used in the narrative. This is For authors use first-person point of view to get closer with the readers, so the readers can feel connected with the reading, and hence that's why the first-person point of view is used. Next one, we have the second-person point of view. The second-person point of view is where the narrator is speaking to you, the reader. It is more common in poems, speeches, instructional writing, and persuasive articles, and it is not common in fictions. Okay, so second person point of view ni is like usually for motivational books. Okay, kalau you baca buku-buku motivational, okay, you will have the author is like speaking to you. Okay, the author is usually the narrator. Okay, so that's the second person point of view. The next one, we have third person point of view. The third person point of view is where the narrator is describing what is seen, but as a spectator. If the narrator is a character in the story, then we are reading what he or she is telling as the story unfolds. So meaning the third person is not exactly, he's not exactly in the story. The narrator could be a spectator, someone watching from outside the story. Okay, or if the third person point of view, if the narrator is the character in the story, then we just reading what he or she is telling as the story goes on. And in third person point of view, there are two categories. The first one is the omniscient. Omniscient is the all-seeing, where the narrator knows everything about the story. The narrator knows about every event in the book, in the story, and the narrator knows every character's thoughts and feelings. So that's why you call it omniscient. Some call omniscient God, like knows everything. Okay, so just remember that omniscient, the know-it-all, the one who sees everything, the one who knows everything. Okay, serba tahu. Okay, dia boleh tahu semua orang punya fikiran, dia boleh tahu semua orang punya whereabouts, dia pergi mana, buat apa. So that's the omniscient narrator. And then next one we have limited omniscient. Limited omniscient ni, the narrator knows only about a single character's doing, meaning the narrator only knows only one character, what he does, what the character does, where the character goes, and then where the other character, what other character feels, what other character is thinking. So this is limited omniscient. He doesn't know it all. He or she doesn't know it all, like the omniscient point of view, but he just know this one single person's thoughts and feelings or doings. Okay, so that's the difference between omniscient and limited omniscient. Okay, next one we have tone and mood. Tone and mood is a literary element that evokes certain feelings or vibes in readers through words and descriptions. Tone and mood refer to style or voice in writing, such as formality, dialect, and atmosphere. You can describe a tone by using the words such as dark, humorous, serious, emotional, chaotic, and etc. Tone affects how readers will respond to your writing. Its effects can be very subtle, but they are profound, the same way as a person's body language and overall personality. So tone and mood, it evokes your feelings or vibes. It allows you to feel how whenever you read a certain literature piece. You sometimes feel angry when you read this one line, you sometimes feel sad when you read this one line. So that's the function of tone and mood for the readers. Let's look at this example of these two sentences. The first one, I'll just swing by your office at 4 tomorrow. And then the second one, I will meet you in your office tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Which one do you think shows a more excitement in the tone? Pretty sure it's the first one, because when the intonation for the first one shows excitement, even the punctuations of the exclamation mark shows the excitement of being at this person's office at 4 tomorrow. And then the second sentence, I will meet you in your office tomorrow at 4 o'clock, is rather serious and firm. Okay, usually probably you would think it as unfriendly, but it is more to a serious. So this one is a serious tone, and this one is a more excited tone. So that's how the function of tone and word that the author provides for the readers. It allows readers to feel, it allows readers to think of what the story, what the character feels, or how the situation is. Next, we have language and style. So, what are language and style? Language refers to the words of a story, including syntax. In literature, there are literal and figurative languages. Literary language often use elegant and figurative form in their text, and literary techniques enhance the figurative quality. Meanwhile, style is the characteristic way in which any writer uses language and tone with other elements like symbol and irony uses style. So here means language and style are where authors play with words and diction, even sometimes grammar. Authors tend to incorporate a lot of literal and figurative elements. Literary devices such as imagery, symbols, metaphors are widely used in language and style. And we are going to cover all those literary devices in the next topic. So, thank you for watching. See you on the next lesson. Leave a comment down below and give this video a thumbs up. Happy learning and stay positive. I'll see you next time.